Hi, I'm Angelique Roche. Good morning, Comic-Con! Are you excited to find out what it means to be at a Marvel character exclusive spotlight? I'm gonna try it again. Are you excited? Well, I'm gonna give you a little bit of a hint. The character we're spotlighting might be standing right next to me, at least the character costume. Yesterday, they announced that there is a brand new addition to Marvel's Avengers, and it is going to be Kamala Khan. So I could sit here and talk about Kamala Khan all morning, but I want to invite a couple of very special friends up here who know a little bit more about the character than I do, and definitely know more about how the character was developed for this amazing, amazing game. I would like to bring up first writer and creative director of Marvel's Avengers, Sean Sky. Yes, you, Sean. Next up, I would like to bring the performance actor behind the performance of Kamala Khan for Marvel's Avengers, Sandra Saad. And a very special guest that we have with us this morning, two of the co-creators of Kamala Khan. First, I would like to bring up the original writer and co-creator of Kamala Khan, Willow Wilson. And last, but certainly not least, co-creator of Kamala Khan and VP Content and Character Development at Marvel, Sana Amanat. You guys could take a seat.
Okay.
Don't sit on your mics, though. Don't sit on your mics. That might be rude for the audience. Well, good morning, everyone. It's been so long since I've seen you all.
It's been years, right?
I mean, by years, you mean yesterday.
We've missed you dearly.
I've missed you terribly.
How was your sleep? Did you sleep fine?
I did, because I knew that the world knew that you were Kamala Khan.
Girl, I couldn't sleep at all. I was like, this is too exciting.
All right, so we're going to jump right into it, and I'm going to go all the way to the far end.
Yes.
So, Willow, Sana, you created this amazing, 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 incredible, marvelous character that so many people are already, I see cosplay already out there for Kamala this morning. And we've chatted a lot, Sana, about Kamala. Mm-hmm. For those who may not be familiar with Ms. Marvel and her backstory and maybe new or just want to hear it all over again, can you tell us a little bit about who she is and where she came from?
Is that for me or for
both of you?
Both
Go
okay.
for it.
Let's tag team this, Willow.
Okay.
Steve Wacker and I called up right over there. Called up Miss Wilson over here and said, "Hey, we have an idea for a Muslim American superhero." And she's like, "You guys are insane." I'm paraphrasing. And but we had no other ideas besides that. We're like, let's just make a thing. And Willow came back with some really fun ideas. We had some bad ideas.
We had some bad, yeah. It was the longest, I think, development time that I've done on a series, because we wanted to make sure that we got this character exactly right, that she felt very real. I mean, there were some deep conversations that we had early on during the development process, because I think anytime you're trying to do something new, especially in superhero comics, you have to create a world that will support that character and get those notes right. And Sana and I are both Jersey girls. We had a lot sort of in common, and so there were some obvious building blocks to sort of put together. And I think the time and the effort that we and Steve and Adrian Alfana, the original series artist, put in really showed, because we were able to create this cohesive world for this character.
So for those out there who love Kamala and are just want to know some things, what were 3 things that you had to have as a character for Kamala?
Well, I think that the biggest thing was making sure that she was just a regular teenager, like just very grounded. I remember like the first, when Willow turned in the first script and you see Kamala's face plastered against the window of a bacon and like a bacon grilling machine, And her first line in Marvel Comics history is, "I just want to smell it." I feel like that encapsulates like everything that we wanted for that character, like young, relatable, and just funny,
Yeah.
right?
I think it's, when you come out with a new superhero, there's a certain set of expectations that I think we were trying to undermine. Not to say like, oh, there's a bus on fire and out of the sky comes superhero X.
Yeah.
Her origin story was a lot more down to earth. She starts out kind of like, any of us encountering the Marvel Universe. First as a fan and, sort of as a regular teen who's trying to balance school and family and friends and just growing up and figuring out who she is as a person. And so, we wanted to sort of drop people into the story on a very regular day with her sort of going about her life with her friends and doing her schoolwork and like hanging out at the Circle Q, which is like the local convenience store. So people would go like, oh, hey, I haven't really seen a superhero origin story like this in a while. So, I mean, it was a risk, but I think it really paid off in the end.
So now that we know a little bit about Kamala, can we take a look at Kamala Khan in Marvel's Avengers? You want that?
Yes, please.
Ooh, I could watch this all day.
What is your name?
Kamala Khan.
I was just some weird kid from Jersey who didn't fit in. I kind of stole something off of AIM's server.
Huh? What? Why? Why?
AIM calls people like me inhuman. He claims we're sick, violent. He says our disease will kill us in the end. Well, I don't believe it. What if the Avengers were set up? AIM, the so-called cure, it's just not lining up. There's something wrong and I can feel it. Don't you?
The kid isn't human. We did this, and she needs your help. I can't.
You can't what? You're ditching me?
Hey, don't take it personally, kid. No, this is what he does.
This was a mistake.
So you're both just gonna walk away? The Avengers were set up. Cap was murdered.
You think I don't know that? I've replayed that day in my head 1,000 times. Guess what? No one cares. The world needed someone to blame, and he gave them their scapegoat. So, unless you have some kind of astounding proof, I suggest you both get off my land. What is that?
Proof.
Kamala Khan, guys.
It's such a good trailer, but my favorite part
I
is
got
always
chills.
the end.
Oh, yeah. That Slurpee was fun.
And it's a Circle Q cup for fans of the series.
All right, Sandra,
Yeah.
you are literally Kamala Khan. Like, literally. When you first auditioned for this role, when you were cast, did you have any idea how integral this character would be to this game?
No. I had no idea anything. When you're first auditioning, especially for a Marvel project, they, change all the names, they change all the details, so you have no idea even what you're auditioning for, but I knew right away that I loved whoever this was. And I was like, I don't care what this is, but I want it. And I came back for my fourth audition or something, and I was like, still don't know what this is, but I love it. And then when I found out, I was like, no way. An Avenger? Kamala Khan? And the more I read up about her, the more I was just like, I love her, I love her, I love her. And every single day on set just kind of became more and more like, I tell you this all the time, but every time I show up on set, I'm like, well, that was the best day of my life. nothing can top this. And then I
did.
show up again the next month, and I'm like, well, that was the best day of my life. Nothing can top this.
But that brings us really back to what Sana and G. Willow were talking about, which is this concept of relatability. And you actually have like a very personal connection to Kamala as a character, correct?
Yes. I, like Kamala, I'm a first-generation American. I grew up, with the strict parent who, like I've got my own, I'm a fangirl of my own things. I'm a fangirl of the Avengers. I mean, y'all are too, you get it. And, my parents don't really get it, and like, that's fine, but, I definitely, being maybe also a first-generation American, you grow up kind of, just wanting to be accepted and, for whatever your likes are and for who you really are. And, Kamala definitely has that struggle of feeling a little bit like an other and wanting to belong and feel accepted. So yeah, I relate to her so much. And I don't know any one person who's never had that struggle. So I feel like anybody can relate to her.
Does your mom know what you do yet? Has she figured it out after yesterday?
Oh, she's been Googling. Oh, my mom sent me the trailer yesterday. She's like, is this you? I'm like, yeah, Mom.
Wow.
Yeah.
That is adorable.
I love her. She's watching. Hi, Mom.
All right, so Sean, we've had a couple conversations. You are so excited about this.
I'm still excited.
I know there's a lot of fans of Kamala Khan, but you're like in the top 10 in my book.
I appreciate that.
You really are. Like
do.
From the moment the words Kamala Khan came out of your mouth, I realized that this was a very important story for you, but also you've played such a big role into creating the story and involving Kamala and integrating the character into the game. Can you set a little bit of the scene for us around the events in the game and why it's so important that it's Kamala?
Yeah, well, one, I'm super excited to get to this part of the story because you don't know how much time the studio, the fans, everyone's just been knocking on our doors. Like, well, tell us this story. You guys got to tell us this story. I don't get it. So we're super excited to reveal Kamala. And on the events of A-Day, and the story that you guys saw, some of you saw the early trailer releases, the Avengers, they brought out their new technology. They were displaying their helicarrier, custom Chimera with this new energy source that went just totally awry. It was destructive to San Francisco, leveled the city. A lot of people got injured, and they kind of left on this low note. Kamala was there on A-Day and was also affected by that reactor, right? And some of you saw the hints or saw some of the little peeks that we sent out of her falling on the deck, right? But the sad part about that day was that the Avengers are now outlawed. Superpowers are now outlawed. So, and AIM, which is this corporation that's kind of risen up in the absence of superheroes, they've kind of sold this world protected by science. So here you have Kamala, and the irony behind Kamala is she went to this A-Day celebrations just seeking sort of validation, right? She's got her comics, she's an Avenger too, she loves the group.
She's the ultimate fangirl.
She's a fan, yeah, and she wants to be just like everyone else. And then she gets infected, quote unquote infected by, AIM terms, by this Terrigen mist, and now is even further outcast. So it's awesome. It's an awesome setup to see this journey of this unassuming hero who has all the right qualities to unite these Avengers against AIM.
Well, and at the Marvel Games panel yesterday, you mentioned that it's such a big deal that Kamala is doing it because she has such faith in the Avengers who don't have faith in themselves right
Absolutely.
now. Because there is a little bit of a conflict going on with the Avengers at the moment, particularly between Bruce and Tony.
Yeah.
And a couple people are out dealing with their guilt. But you have this ultimate fangirl who has come in. Sandra, how does it feel to be tasked with reassembling the Avengers? Like, what was it like to team up, one, with the Avengers, but with this team that's been working together for so long?
Oh, man. They are such a welcoming group of people. And I feel like being around Troy and Nolan and Laura and Jeff and every single person on the cast and crew has been, I mean, we feel like a family, and so much, almost like Kamala and the Avengers. Every time I'm on set, I feel like I'm Kamala standing amongst the Avengers, because these guys just welcome me with open arms. In fact, they're here right now supporting me, listening to all of this, and hey guys.
They'll be on the stage in a minute. There's going to be a signing. Before we get to the signing, though, I kind of want to skip over. Can we play the gameplay video real quick? Because I know we have to wrap very shortly to get to the signing, but I don't want to miss out on that if we can.
Hello, San Francisco!
Thor, Tony, check it out. Reactor.
So good. Okay, so Kamala has some incredible moves in this game. You got to do a lot of work on mocap, and I want to talk very, very quickly, because what a lot of people don't know is that you are a performance actor, which means you're not just the voice, you are literally doing the movements. They have based the emotions off of your face. You have done a lot of work in here, but also because Kamala has such unique powers, there was a lot of stuff that was done differently with how she's doing her gameplay. What were some of your inspirations in creating her moves, Sean? And then how was that experience? Because Sandra's looking at me like, no, I don't know. This is not a question for me. No, it's not a question for you. And how was that experience, Sandra? Because I know this is your first time doing this.
Yeah, it is my first time. When Sean explains to me what a clap is, the only reference I have is a comic, and I'm like, great. How do I like clap, and then my hands grow all the way to the end of the room? But then, you know, Crystal is very, very good about showing me stuff when it's ready, and showing me what it's supposed to look like, what it's gonna look like, and that is so cool. Seeing all of the details come to life, it makes it. Sean's explanation actually makes it very, very easy.
Oh, put me on the spot now.
You're welcome.
I mean, she had to learn how to embiggen. That's a big deal.
Embiggening it's a craft. Yeah. It's a craft. We had a lot of great reference, you know, from the comics. We took a lot of our initial animation tests from it right out of the book. We wanted her to be powerful, and directing Sandra was easy because she's very imaginative, right? So her imagination is wild on the stage. She will just literally do a thunderclap and be all in it for like a few minutes after.
He'd be like, all right, cut.
She's like, am I done? Do you have it? Are you sure? I could do it again. This is how I imagine. This is literally how I imagine. It's like, I could do it again. I could do it better.
Yeah, no, she literally would say, hey, wait, no, I got this one. One more. Right?
Yeah, double best.
Double best.
Well, we're going to talk more about Kamala all day today, but I want to make sure while we have an opportunity to have all of you on stage, you know, the life and evolution of Kamala Khan has been a journey that has spanned 5, going on 6 years now, and we're going to be celebrating the 5th anniversary a little later on the stage today. You know, it's gone through animation, comics, now games. Each one of you, you have 10 seconds. What are you most excited to see, for fans to see, in this iteration of Kamala Khan's story?
How important she actually is to the Marvel Universe, and that she's only going to become bigger.
Literally, bigger.
Yeah,
she's going to embiggen.
Embiggen, yeah.
What a fun character she is to go along with on her journey, not just because of who she is as a person, but by how fun and interesting her power set is as well.
I'm excited for everyone to take away a little bit of her strength, because she goes through a lot and she's resilient, and she makes her way with hope that inspires everyone around her.
I'm excited for you guys to play Kamala Khan's coming of age story in this game.
Yeah, a lot of people don't realize that this really is. You said yesterday that it wasn't intended to be a coming of age story, but it really has become that, which is so core to the character of Kamala Khan.
Yeah, she's powerful. If you're a gamer, you're gonna love. Like, she is super fun to play. You got to see the gameplay. It's insane.
When her arms stretch, they go whoop. It's my favorite.
Well, I want to thank each and every one of you so much for being up here. Can we get another round of applause for our panel? Well, make sure you're sticking around because next up we are going to be having a signing of not just Sandra, but the rest of the Marvel Avengers cast. And I'm going to get a chance to ask them a couple questions to learn a little bit more about the process, about putting that game together, but also find out who is most like their character from the game. Thank you so much.
Thanks, guys.